at least put one button up for the YouTube. And no, we're gonna put one button down. No, we're going back down. We're good. So this camera is here. This camera is here. So what I'm actually gonna try to do is, without damaging the whole system, I'm gonna try to move this, like the Instagram live camera, to here, because like out over here the video is like really bad, but that's all we got. Oh, I have an idea. Maybe that's for tomorrow, but for now, we're just trying to make it work. So hello YouTube, what's really happening? This is the first YouTube live that we're doing. I don't know what quality. I think we have good enough internet. It seems a lot better on Instagram than it does on YouTube, and that might just be like the bad quality. Let me, from the webcam, I mean. Okay, so I went back to the audio. The audio still recording. You know, like I said, we got some really nice tech that we haven't been able to use, but you got to work with what you got, and you got to be grateful for that. And then from there, I think you just start going. So we were talking. You know, we got Ruben in the house. YouTube, what's going on? Let's turn off all the music that we. So now, okay, music free. We're good. I hope you don't take this down. If you do, we'll like chop off the audio, and then we'll upload the video, because we're also getting so this is like a reintroduction. It's episode 4 of the Hustle Lounge, but it's episode 1 on YouTube. And I still got to move this camera. I think I'm just excited. All right, it's right here. I'm gonna spin this way. I'm just getting everything in its place. My bad. I'm not pushing it, but okay. Well, see, I knew that was gonna happen. All right, we're good. I think that'll be like considering. Let's see if we can get it back. That'd be funny if we couldn't. It just means you have to be down for whatever. But if there's no YouTube, there's no reason to like do it. You know, all Instagram doesn't already know, but I've already said it like 2 or 3 times in like 3 or 4 days. So okay, we've been a couple of people. You know, sometimes we go in and out. Like obviously, when I see Instagram lives, that's what I choose. So like all of these first sessions, it's the journey of a lot of things. We're playing with audio, we're playing with video. We want to tell people, you know, not only the message. I think that's an interesting thing to do. I really think it is. It seems apparently we're still on YouTube. We're still on YouTube. We're still recording everything. So let's get started. Let's get ready to rumble. Whoa, what is this about? No. What is this about? Okay, like opening wrong screens here, but I'm going to give it a little bit of context and order. And so we're starting light. I was really tired before we started today, but I was able to like jump my energy back up. Like the day was long, but I really enjoy what I do, and I think that's part of the thing. Like, you know, when you start your day at 5 a.m. and you get to 11:30, you really got to have something that gives you juice. Otherwise, it's hard. It's like really hard, you know. And for me, that's okay. Like I don't trip a lot, you know. I don't trip a lot. I definitely just try to walk the walk. So for, you know, like the fact that right now, like I just got the fact to be able to do on YouTube, I'm excited, you know, like I'm really excited. And the video is like really choppy. So later I think we'll like upload it again with like the better video, especially hopefully this is not like, you know, getting creamed. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna put this here, and then we're good. So yeah, because we can also like shorten the videos for YouTube, like whoever's on YouTube watching us. I wasn't expecting to get anyone, so the fact that we got one person makes me feel really special. Thank you. And thanks to everybody on Instagram for taking like a little part of their night just to share with us and kick it. This is the Hustle Lounge. So what is the Hustle Lounge? The Hustle Lounge is a place to talk about your hustle, you know, and means that you can definitely believe in something that'll show you the way to get to where you're going just by doing that same thing. What do I mean? Like when you hustle at something, like I'll take it in sports, like when the coach is like, "Hey, hustle, hustle, hustle," right? It's like run, run, run fast, run fast, run fast. The faster that you run fast, the faster that you hustle, the coach will then be like, "Hey, that dude hustles, so you got to give him the ball. That dude hustles, so I'm going to choose him for this drill. That dude hustles." You know what I mean? So you get the chance to do more of it. And and like Gary V, like I always make reference to shout out to Gary V. Like he references it in a way where it's like, hey, you know, you gotta hustle, and then like you go to like a world where hustle is like maybe has a bad connotation to it, like from the text of the word, and then you're just like, okay, it's the work ethic that you work with, it's that work ethic that you have, and that's a really nice thing. I think that's like a really really nice thing, because then it's a way to communicate that you can have a bad work ethic and you can have a good work ethic, just the way that you can have bad hustle and good hustle. You know what I mean? And like the fact that you can choose to have a hustle, like what does that mean? I mean, we're just like going too deep into the word, and it's not necessary. But the fact that that we're here, so we might as well just explain it. Like you're able to not only plant the seed and work the seed, but maybe turn that seed into like a little, like a few trees. I mean, like an orchard. That's the word I was looking for, right? So like the fact that you can turn it into an orchard from your hustle, you're going to get more from that orchard than if you just had a single tree, right? and and that's like, I think, the spirit that a lot of us go with. And that doesn't mean like overwork, that doesn't mean, like don't take breaks. Like, and I really believe in that. I really believe in balance. I really believe in peace of mind. I really believe in not paying too much for your money, like too much time, too much energy, like I really believe that. So what I'm getting at is just, if you have go deep in it, you're just like, hey, I'm not gonna miss like a couple of years to get it through, or like couple 20. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, if it's passion that drives you, if it's like reality about the world that you want to search for, and like that doesn't have to mean like crazy stuff out of the world. That can just like mean like everyday things, like going to the park with your daughter and like stopping to smell flowers and look at ants, and like closing your eyes, like all of that stuff, like it counts as it as well. So I mean, I don't know, it makes me like feel grateful and at the same time excited that I can actually start sharing all of this with people, because I think especially now, like we need it. I'm not gonna use it like as a propaganda that this is a perfect thing for that. And I usually don't try to tell people, like what to think. I try to just explain to people how I think, and if people from that can take something and it works, like God is great. You know what I mean? That's what we're here for. So that's the Hustle Lounge. That's what it is, and it's a place to talk about that. We had Panchito. Panchito was also stopped by earlier. Like, Panchito, he was featured on the first B2B Mondays. When I first told him, he was like, "Hey, bro, that's B2B Mondays." I was like, "Hey, that's B2B Mondays," and then we just did point like, how does the Hustle Lounge podcast, basically it's a daily thing, so it's like a weekday thing. Today's the first day on YouTube, so finally at least we got like one thing out of the way. Like where we were like, we gotta fix this, and we like, sometimes I just say like me, or sometimes like people that I like kick off the ideas for my team, or that I'm close with, like just how we're flowing on there. And I was like, I'm late because like I was coming through saying like it was 11 and it was 7. And why? Okay, I'll tell you about the 11 in a minute. But like the Hustle Lounge was at 7, so the fact that the Hustle Lounge is at 7 like keeps me to an hour. But that's what I keep, like, that's my excuse. But that's why it leads you to modify. At the end of the day, you don't want to lie, or you don't want people to expect something and you not be there. But you also don't want to hang yourself from a tree trying to like live up to a standard that isn't viable for you. So what does that mean? Like simply, it just means that we are able to I got caught in the YouTube thing from it. I'm really excited about YouTube. I'm sorry. Like, and I really lost my train of thought. And I like it usually doesn't happen, but I was like, I'm really excited about being on you, like having YouTube now. And I was like, I look back and I was like, okay, this is good, right? And I lost my train of thought, but like I'll pick it back up. I think we're going on the same place. Like at 7 p.m., I'm committed to an hour with you guys. I'm committed to time. And if I don't get here, I don't feel good. Like when it's 6:50 and I'm in a meeting, or when it's 45 and I'm like, and right now, like with the whole coronavirus thing, we're not moving a lot. And so it's a lot of like literally like an operator, like the whole day on the phone. And we're really working on important things. Like we really have a business, that we run and that we operate. And it's not a huge team. It's a small team that was a little bit bigger. And based on the circumstances, we have to adjust everything. So we got real things that we're taking care of as a company. And but like, and not at all. We're like, oh, no. I mean, I think this is the time for the riders to get on the horse. You know what I mean? And okay, now we're getting like really good feed from YouTube. So like, I'm not trying to be rude to, like, I'm just gonna start, and I'll find a way for the cameras to have better angles. Doing two lives at once, but I really like it. I don't want to stop doing it on Instagram, even if it goes away after a day, like I really want to stay consistent there because it's practical and a lot of people are constantly on Instagram. And then YouTube, like I just, I'm just heading to that. So getting to the point, what's the point, JC? The point is that I'm okay. So if it's your show, you can propose the dynamics. That's how I feel about this whole thing, right? So what we're gonna do is say, okay, the hustle lounge will be in the evenings. You know what I mean? So then from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock, people are waiting for that hustle lounge, and it's a real show. It's like real live. Maybe nobody's waiting, right? But I'm just telling myself that. And like in my head, there's like half of Mexico and like half of the US, and everybody's like, hey, what's up? And like a few people somewhere else is, right? But even if that's just like me and like, Ruben today, or, like whoever comes through, or Scarlett, or, whoever like is here with us, vibing with us, or on, on YouTube, wherever is with us, like we really appreciate that, and it's a moment to share. And if it stays here, and then like in 2 or 3 months, somebody's laughing because they're like, oh, like it's a way to have a good time, I think, and that's basically why it's here. It's a way to share. And then there's another podcast. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. It's also going to be on YouTube. Like everything is the same structure. Everything is very direct. But the way it works is the hustle lounge is in the evenings, and in the mornings we're going to have the other podcast. The other podcast is called A Business Story, right? So a business story is basically a place where we focus really on things, where we talk about principles, where we talk about what things we need to do, but in the sense of perspective, and then we try to, like, any questions that I can ask in those sessions is definitely towards a purpose. Like I always say, you can come and listen. Like it's a beautiful thing to come and listen. But if you don't have, like, you can be like, oh, in 5 years I want to start my own business. That's cool. Come and listen. Like you're welcome. Come kick it with us. But somebody who's like, hey, I got this little situation I'm trying to take care of. Hey, I got this idea that I'm trying to pick up the ground. Like the other day, we were like the first episode of the Hustle Lounge. We were kicking it, and I think it was gonna be in English, and then it became in Spanish. And the first episode of the Hustle Lounge, we were like, hey, we, like with Chapir, like he's like my little brother, and him and like a few friends are starting a company, and then we started talking. Like it was like boom, 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 and then it was like a good give and take. And then from there, like really good things came out. We talked a lot of cool stuff, and it allows me not only to relive, but I think also to like generate for myself different areas of perspective as to what it is, and I think that's just a great opportunity, definitely. So it excites me. It like picks me back up. It puts me in a level where I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's 11:38, and you know what I mean? Like you were supposed to be on here at 7, and tomorrow you got to be up early. Like it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to share. It's a pleasure to see people. It's a pleasure to be reminded, and then that's basically going back to the hustle lounge. What the hustle lounge is, it's a place to kick it, it's a place to talk, it's a place to have guests, it's a place to talk about history, stories. Like I got these little things called story time, right? So when I tell you like a story, like all of those things, it's nice. And with it, we'll be able to launch a podcast, right? So maybe something like, well, and then we'll start getting like more flow and more rhythm as we go. The other podcast is called The Business Story, and we're gonna get more rhythm on there because it's gonna be more structured. And then here, it's just gonna be a place like we're gonna grow because we're gonna get better at it. But it's a place to really relax, and just talk about what's on our minds. Like I don't like to talk a lot about politics. I don't like to talk about a lot about race, but because I think those are like they're not trivial things. They're just sometimes things that you can't control. And I'd rather use like a lot of the opportunities to focus on what we can control, like what can you really do and what are you really about. And with that session, then I think you're getting onto something, right? So it's good. It's definitely good. What am I? Who am I? What am I about? Shout out to YouTube, everybody on Instagram. Like the people that are usually watching. Like I think they're people that know me quite well. So at the current moment, I think we're in a state of I think we're in a state of awareness. I wouldn't say emergency. I think we're still in a sense. Some places are in lockdown. Some places are in more, tense situations, and some places are more relaxed situations where you can still move, but yet you should be responsible, right? So, like with that whole situation going on, it's really put a lot of companies. We were not spared on that list, and we were coming already off like a rough semester, and sometimes like you just have to keep really focused on the faith, keep really focused on the fact that you're like, hey, don't quit, don't quit. You got to be strong. You got to do your thing. We made like I mean I won't go into too much detail like some of the things, you know what I mean, like I mean like my personal life or some very like detailed things or customer sensitive things. Like obviously they're not things that will get shared a lot, but it's true that we really try to be open and embrace everything that happens as a way to get to a better place, right? Even if that thing is sometimes a tough time that you're going to get. And I always find a little bit of comfort and at least a way to maintain myself as long as I feel true to myself, like in Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay of character, right? Because it really speaks of that journey of a man or a woman through time where people act in fragments of time and cannot see character throughout a prolonged series of events and of time. And sometimes life puts you in a certain place where you might have to, if not get set back, get set on a journey, to make yourself better and make yourself stronger and make, like the oyster, redo it, like all of that stuff, right? I mean, definitely. I think it's true. I think we see life in everything. I think life, we see it in every single thing around us, and we can find reference to some sort of life around us from something else, because we act on natural laws. And this isn't something new. Like I'm not touching on anything that isn't unknown, um, but it's just a reminder, because then we come back to awareness. So it's kind of like I go around just to come back to the same point, right? And then it's like we're in a state of awareness at the current moment, and the only thing in my view that I choose to do is to try to be the most responsible, to try to help people the most I can. I have a company. I've experienced firsthand, like I can relate to the people and things that they go through. So it keeps me in a place where I'm like, just be level headed with it. Just help the people out, right? And it's a really interesting thing. It's a really interesting thing because it enables you. It enables you to be brave. It enables you to take decisions. It enables you to have self-discipline. We've been talking like a lot, like already, like we talked today a lot about self-discipline in Spanish, and then we talked yesterday about helping others, and it goes with the reference to that, and how many people may perceive it, but then how you got to go on forward with it, and you got to be strong to it. Like all of those things, we've tried, um, as a humanity, I think, to achieve and to pass down, to pass on. but there's a lot of us, and we come from a very long chain of like a lot of negative impacts, sometimes from our immediate family, sometimes from the people that we are brought amongst. Even though we have like a good family based on values, we're brought amongst a series of circumstances and situations, and perhaps even people that make us rougher, or that make us tougher, or that put us in situations. If we lose, it might have great consequences. So with all of those things, I always like to step back and look at them, and more than judge, or more than try to make like perfect sense of anything, I really truly just try to see how I can in a way better myself, because I have a long journey to go, obviously. So like the fact that I chose that, it really makes me feel more powerful, because then it's like, when you see something and you're like, that's none of my business, I got to get back to work. That's kind of how I feel about it. Obviously there's exceptions to every rule in life, or so it seems, um, and it's a point, it's an interesting point to ponder on, maybe 5-10 minutes a day, and then you might see that within yourself there's like so much opportunity and so much power. And like that's like, I think at the end, the message that I just want to keep driving even through both, because it's something that I've learned, and I've studied, or I've walked towards it for like 15 years, and then one day I like stumbled upon it. And when I mean stumbled upon it, like I fell and I hit my face on it, like, and the situation made it important enough that I was able to realize that it wasn't a small thing, and that I had just been able to acquire perhaps a new level within myself, like, certainly, but a new level of perspective, and a new level of understanding, and a new level of commitment. And that level was born out of the seed that I am truly not only trying to do the right thing and trying to follow the path, but like, or the path that I've been learning, but that I am truly able to control that which my mind not only receives but produces, and that I am also able to control not only the way that my body looks, but what my body does and what my body says, and perhaps even where my body goes to, where my body hears, and what my body smells, and what my body, you know what I mean? Like, I could limit those experiences, and if I limit them, it should be to something positive. What could I, what could I change those experiences to be positive as? And that's where like you have to be not only creative but persistent, and not only persistent and creative but also natural. And like I think I've really learned to value walking through life many times not knowing what's going on, and that's like sometimes crazy to say. I don't think it is. Like, people that know me, people that are like in my inner circle at this stage in life, they know how analytical I can be, and how process driven I am. And the people that I talk to about business know how creative I am, and how, like, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I'm just saying I've learned to understand where are my strengths and where are my weaknesses. I got many, but I can't focus on those. I could get a team, and that's what I've done. Like, for example, like Gerardo, like, I love him. He's like my brother, and I don't know, he is my brother, like literally, like that's how I feel with him, like literally, I feel like he's my brother, and it's a beautiful feeling. Uh, and in him, because he not only is he like a brother figure in my life, he is also, like a high ranking member of the operations team that I'm building. And he, like, not only is he always very frank and direct, but he always like reflects that, camaraderie, like that. My English and Spanish mix sometimes, but like the camaraderie, like, like if somebody like types it or some shit, thank you. But like, it's 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 that bond, it's that friendship that unites us. But don't lose the point. The point is I'm able to execute with somebody next to me who is good, so much better at me in many things, in things that I'm like, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to try to be the best I can. I'm not going to be an asshole. But I'm not even going to try to compete at his level. You know what I mean? Or to be like, I can do it too. Of course I can do it too. I'm a human being. He can do everything that I can do if he put his mind to it. Of course. That's not the point here. The point is we're a team. And but that's why I made such an emphasis on the team, on the bond, on the unity, because even though sometimes we may not agree, or we might go through a rough patch, or we might, stand at not an opposite side, because I never consider him on an opposite side. I don't consider my team ever on the opposite side, but maybe from a different perspective coming to me, right? And then in that sense, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is what I gotta do. Now I get it, right? Like, not only do I gotta hear, but where he's in charge, where he's captain, where he's good, I'm gonna trust him, right? I'm not gonna challenge him. He's the expert at that. And maybe in that degree, when it's my turn to execute on something that I'm good at, he'll be like, hey, that's my brother. I'm gonna have faith in him. And even if we're wrong, we're gonna double it up. Like, look at what that develops. It develops opportunity, it develops patience, it develops like a bond. It strengthens the bond, and God willing, that bond continues to grow throughout our lives, because people like him, and I'm like, not, like, but just as a general sense, to a person, like taking me and him out of the equation, it enables you, it truly enables you to not doubt. And we talked about that on the first episode of A Business Story, about tentative action and all of that stuff. Like, you gotta go forward. Not only do you gotta know how to think, you gotta know how to walk, and you gotta know how to move. And if your actions are tentative, if you're always stuck to start waiting for something to happen, to do something else, you will find that not only is life a roller coaster, but you're not in control. I'm not saying life isn't a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. But even though life is a roller coaster, it's at the same time true that you can choose part of that roller coaster, and you can choose part of at least what roller coaster you get onto, right? And if you can do that, you should. You definitely should. And that's the whole point, I think, that A Business Story tries to make. That point, that's the only point. That's the whole reason I'm doing a podcast. And if somebody really could understand what that means, if people could really understand what that means, the podcast would be very short. Even if I did it every day, it would just be boop, that's it. That one word, we gotta go. There's nothing else to be done. It's a 1 minute podcast. We might even do that one day. A 1 minute podcast, a 5 minute podcast. That's it. But on the way to that, at least for a business story, we can't, because I know how hard it is to understand it. Like, believe me, I've been studying like 13, 14 years that very same line, and I was only able to get it a few months back, or like several weeks back, a little bit before this whole Corona thing started, or no, like in this year, but like when it hit Mexico and the U.S. and everything, like it's true, it's true, and at the end of the day, I can only be grateful that that's how I feel, and I can only try to give that to as many people as I possibly can, because it's not something that's mine to keep. I already have it. I don't think people can take it from me. That feeling, that knowledge that you can do anything you want to do if you really set your mind to it. I've came to understand the meaning of that phrase to a degree where I don't doubt myself, and the people that are close to me can reference off the things that we have planned in the next 15, 20, 25 years. Like, I'm not scared. I'm not walking out here with fear. I don't worry that the Ferris wheel goes sometimes down and sometimes up. I don't worry about that. You know, you guys should really listen to Ralph Waldo Emerson. It took me, like, that's where discipline comes in, and it's good for you, right? Like, when you know that a vitamin is good for you, like echinacea or something like that, plug out to echinacea. Like everybody should drink echinacea every day, especially with this whole virus thing going on. That's it boosts your immune system. But if the virus is not to your immune, I don't know, but it really boosts your like echinacea. Like look it up, like Google it. It's when we have engineers, we'll like put a little screen that says what it is. But for now, you can just Google it up. It's not that hard. But like the reason that you'll drink echin like me, I'll literally now just like squirt echinacea into like a 1 liter bottle, and then I'll just like drink it throughout the afternoon or the morning, and I really enjoy it. I came to enjoy it the way that 5, 7, 8, no more like 10, 12, 15 years ago, I stopped drinking coffee with sugar. Like you just come to enjoy it. That sour, bitter, they call it astringent taste. I think that's the word, stringent or pungent. Like like that's the it's not sweet. It's not eating a Twinkie, But the reason you drink it is because it fortifies your system. So in the same way, the reason that you use self-discipline is to fortify your system. You know what I mean? So on Instagram, I think we're about to get kicked off. We got 2 minutes remaining on Instagram. We'll probably like start it right back up. And then on YouTube, like since we got on YouTube, it's only been 33 minutes. So we're probably going to extend it out to about 45, 50 minutes the way that we're going, making the point that we're making. So as soon as it closes on Instagram, we'll just like pop it right back up. Yeah, definitely. That's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. And I'm just going to keep repeating it, repeating it, repeating it because it's really important. I'll find different ways to repeat it. I'll find different stories to say, and that point will be driven throughout the explanation of everything that I've gone through in life. But so I'll try not to make it boring. But it's really true. Like it's really, really true. You have to definitely like agree that you're able to do whatever you want to do in order to set a really high task for yourself in the future and go at it undoubtedly. Like try to work it another way. You can say many things, but try to, if you don't work it out that way, because at the end of the day, like a math equation, like x equals blah 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 blah. Like life is blah 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 blah, right? And then like the x, it might be where you're trying to get to, it might be where you're trying to understand, it might be a lot of things. So with a lot of joy, with a lot of pride, it's an opportunity, and I think many people in the past that could have had this opportunity would have taken it. This technology didn't exist. How they like, could you really be in like two places live with another camera and audio, like all of this without being a production company like 15, 20 years ago? I highly doubt it. It's impossible. No way, Jose. And then expensive. Okay, Instagram is shutting off. We'll come right back on. YouTube, we're still here. We're still doing our thing. I really appreciate everybody that's chilling out here with us today. So this is like the first YouTube live of the Hustle Lounge. We're gonna be right back in this piece. Second set of liveness. We're gonna get right back in it. Live. Let's do it again. Okay. We're back. Whoever was there coming back with us. What's going on? Everybody on YouTube, we're good. Everybody that sees us later on, we're still rolling, and we're just using this chance to start talking about the Hustle Lounge. I hope to have Panchito back on so he can be on the YouTube side of it too. I hope to get the better cameras rolling quick. I hope to get everything in order. But the Hustle Lounge, it's going to be a nice place to chill at. And then I usually come with like 2 or 3 topics, and then we just drive off of those. Today was really a day where Shy, you're back, yes. And today was really a day when I was just tired, and I was gonna do the podcast because I'm not gonna quit, and that's like there's no way to quit. And hello, like oh wait, what happened? I just switched the camera. I just hit the switch on you guys. Hold on. Okay, we're back. That's the way the other way looks like. So many bloopers, man. It feels amazing. So definitely, hey, hello. Yeah, we can do a live. We're gonna do a live on like Instagram real quick and see what's going on. Let's see. Hello, hello. Let's see. She's about to connect. We're about to do this like Instagram live. Oh, she okay. It's okay. Thank you. Like we're just chilling, you know. What can I talk about? What are a few things? Okay, let's get into like the little rhythm because now we're back here and then here we got like 20 minutes left to close up that hour. So let's get into story time. I got okay. Oh, I got okay. This should be like my version of gossip, which is like not really gossip. It's just like cool stuff that happens to me. But I talked about like I think on the second episode I talked about how hello like I talked about how Sports Cloud came to be, and Sports Cloud, as some of you already know, is the new name of our store, and basically like you know we we ended up in like this legal thing where we didn't want to continue down a road where we would have a similar name to somebody else, and then that would lead to like unnecessary negative competition where two people are fighting for a very similar name and a very similar name. And then we were like, we have to decide to take a step and say, okay, we're going to redo our company in 15 days. And not only that, but we're going to make it better, right? So, how can we make our company better? First of all, like we're in the sports business, so the next 9 months are going to be very relaxed. At least that's how I feel about it. Something might radically change, but the way that things are flowing, I don't think that But anyways, we're confident and we're in our situation and we're strong. But at the same time, you have to be realistic, and then you have to say, okay, I have to pivot because we have to be a company and we have to do like a lot of important things in order to operate and to exist, especially when it's not one or two or three people, but it's a complete team. So then you say, okay, what are we going to do this time? Like basically we've been working out a way to help people within communities to establish new ideas, and we've been doing all of that, and this is the point that I'm driving to. We've been doing all of that out of the sense of responsibility, out of the sense that we couldn't quit, and since we couldn't quit, we had to find a bigger way to do something better. And this is going beyond Sports Cloud. Like Sports Cloud now, it was rebranded. It was rebranded not only as a sports distribution company, which we've been for 12 years, but now it's rebranded as a sports product and media company, where one is focused on pushing product and one is one is focused on pushing content. So it's a really interesting thing the way that those two collide. Definitely, and we're really excited. Like we're launching SoundCloud TV. We launched SoundCloud.mx. Tomorrow we go live with it. You guys should like just look out, see what's going on. You guys are in the US, you probably, like sometimes the shipping, I can understand it's a hassle. But we got some cool stuff, and this rebranding in a sense liberated us. Sports Cloud sounds like a nice place to play sports. Sports Cloud sounds like a nice place to buy a soccer ball. Sports Cloud sounds like a nice place, to watch an interview. Like a Sports Cloud TV and Sports Cloud.mx are going to be the two branches. And then that's why this is story time, because like I would really like to share the power of e-commerce when you look at it from a certain perspective, and the fact that we've been able in like a really, 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 really long time, not that long, like 10 years, we've been able to establish an e-commerce system and format and understanding of the marketing and the way that everything flows, that we said we have a really nice thing in our hands to implement more services, more ways to communicate with our clients, more community, more interviews, like renew yourself in a sense. And that's a great opportunity. But at the same time, it's evolved us. Like we're gonna be having some exciting news soon. Like it's evolved us into a place where we're not afraid, and we're like that Eminem song, like we're not afraid. Like we're not afraid. We're literally just following our rhythm, following our way, following our path. We'll try to do it the best we can. And I'm not speaking at all like in a sad sense that we are in a situation. I'm speaking about the opportunities that we have ahead, you know, and that's like the story behind the story, the fact that we don't know how to quit and that we don't know how to quit on our team is every day making us better. Rafa, what's going on, bro? Welcome. Like, Mao, what's going on, bro? The fact that, and we're also on YouTube now, like, I'm so excited about YouTube. Like, we're on YouTube Live. So if anybody has YouTube, JC at Sports Cloud, like, I'm really plugging the Sports Cloud, JC at sportscloud.mx. Check it out. That's where we're at. And that's the story behind the story, that the commitment to not quit and not quit on your team allows you to find a way to be better and to get through it. And it's a beautiful thing to have, in my opinion. That's how I really feel. It's a really beautiful thing to have. um, a few things that I think are going to be fun. I think they're really going to be fun. Like we're just going to try to have a lot of different forms of content and different forms of interaction, as this quarantine opens up. As we start to do more things. I want to do more engagement, obviously, with people. I want to do more engagement with, like even my own team. I really want to not expose and exhibit. Like it's not a reality show. I think it's a place for people to hear ideas and to really communicate. It's gonna be a nice thing. So there it is. That's like the story behind the story of how we rebranded. Not only how we rebranded Sports House to Sports Cloud, but also the way the Sports Cloud became so much better just from telling ourselves that we have to be better. And we're also doing a lot of e-commerce related things. I've offered to help, like, a lot of people and young companies, at least with guiding them through the whole e-commerce process, here and on LinkedIn, and now like also with YouTube. Obviously there's a limit to what I can do, and I've been investing some of my time in that, and it's been really fulfilling. Um, but at least this will be a way to constantly communicate and to not stop. Recap. I think we're almost closing up. We're at 45 minutes on YouTube, and my eyes are like getting close, like smaller every time. You know what I mean? Like we're having like a Joe Rogan session. So definitely. It's great to finally like be on YouTube. I'm just waiting for LinkedIn. Oh my God! As soon as we're like live on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, then I'm just like, even if we don't have any viewers, I'm just gonna be happy. And we're really documenting a lot. There's a lot of things that I want to tell you, but I gotta wait. I still can't. It's very like sensitive, but we're definitely working with a lot of fun things, a lot of things under the hood. So that's why I'm always able to share with such energy. Like I really go through it every day, like working the business, finding the strategies, like, and I made reference in the morning to a point where I was like, I relate so much to Gary Vee because of the way that I feel and I see him expressing about how he feels. You know what I mean? Like in many ways, like we're worlds apart, but that's from an angle of perspective and of our society, which is very valid and it has its own weight. But in the sense of being genuinely happy, following your dreams and your ambition, not doubting yourself. Like I'm just gonna get a little bit of water break. Like not doubting yourself. It's so important. You know, it's so important to achieve what you want, and the awareness to yourself, the fact that you don't care. Like not only Like when I say self-discipline, self-discipline isn't only good for the good or preventing the bad. I'm sorry, like self-discipline isn't only for, I'm really tired now. Like self-discipline isn't only for holding back the negative, it's also for pushing forward the positive, right? So like in that same way on this side, you have to use it for both things, and just being able to share. It's going to be a fun time. I'm really looking forward to hearing more people, like, giving more feedback and just finding a way to connect and to provide value. Like part of the things that we want to do in the future, they're based around that, especially like generating value, being able to stand on like to stand in a place and be like, how can I help you today? And any ideas that you guys have, bring them on. Let me know what's going on. Hope everybody has a great night. Officially, I'm signing off. We stretched it. We stretched it a little bit. We were supposed to finish an hour like 20 minutes ago, and then we finally got on YouTube. So shout out to YouTube one more time. We're gonna end the streams. It's been really good. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow in the morning we have a business story, and that's in English, and then in the afternoon the Hustle Lounge podcast, that's going to be in Spanish. So everybody be good, have an amazing night. Thank you. God bless you. Good night. Hello.